Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we are back, and today we are going to go over everything wrong with the cheapest Subaru WRX in the country and what I plan to do to fix it, what I've already done to sort of fix it. If you guys are new viewers out there and this is your first time stopping by, I do invite you to subscribe, smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm, and without further ado, let's get right into today's video. So in the last video, I briefly touched on this, but the paint is in disarray. It is not in a good condition, mainly on the roof. This is just horrendous. Look at that. That's peeling clear coat. It's peeling up and bubbling and doing all sorts of nasty stuff. Not to worry, my roommate actually owns a body shop, so we're gonna be taking the car in to get some paint work done, but that is top of the list, although it won't happen for probably a couple of months as I have some other things on the vehicle that I'm a little bit more concerned about. The tires have seen better days, and mainly because these are Lionheart tires. As far as tires are concerned, Lionheart is kind of the lower echelon and the cheapest tires you can get. They're most notably used to sell cars, especially at buy here pay here places. If you haven't figured it out, I did get this at a buy here pay here place, although I went with a check from the bank. I didn't actually have to pay there, I just had to buy there. So these tires need to go. These are probably the #1 safety item that are of concern to me. These are being changed out with hopefully some Michelin Pilot Sport. Any tire is better than these Lionhearts, quite frankly. I will say that they're doing the job for now. We are thankful that they're doing the job because look at them. These are just horrible tires. And speaking of things doing the job, it would not be proper for me to bring up tires that are doing the job without bringing up this wheel stud, or lack thereof. This wheel stud has been missing for a reasonable amount of time, and although I do have 4 wheel studs that are operational, it is still very troublesome to have one that is not. So I will need to get that replaced in the very, very near future. The brakes are at 9mm in the front, which are serviceable, and they should be probably okay for another couple of months, although the front brakes are next on the list after we do the stud, the wheel stud. Now you may notice there's a different hood scoop on the vehicle since we last spoke, and the reason being is because I was on the highway in the car maybe about a week ago, and I did a morning pull, and as I did a morning pull, the hood scoop came off. But this one seems like it's holding up a little bit better, well, as far as hood scoops are concerned. This isn't actually screwed in, it's held in by plastic clips on the underside of the hood scoop. There's 4 of them in total, and then I have RTV epoxy holding those plastic clips in place, so I'm not really concerned about it going anywhere. For what it is, it does seem stable, and it's stabilized on 4 ports of contact, right here, right here, right here, and right here. The bigger concern actually is to do with the clutch, mainly the throw-out release bearing to the clutch fork, or some people call it the shift fork. The Subaru WRX actually have a problem where it chirps while the vehicle is running and the clutch is not depressed. Not to worry, I do have some high temp red grease that I picked up from AutoZone that I will have to apply to the throw-out bearing, or the throw-out release bearing, and that should mitigate the chirping noise and fix the issue. I have already replaced the windshield wipers. You may recall in the last video that I picked up some new windshield wipers, and these are the new ones. They just clipped right on over on the hangers themselves. I did go ahead and I replaced the rear brakes, and they come with a limited lifetime warranty, which is free, especially if you get gold parts at AutoZone. Touching on the last point, it wasn't even a problem at all, but it is something that I have changed since acquiring the vehicle. I did a different exhaust, and we're gonna get a cold start of a 2017 Subaru WRX with a axleback mufflered lead. Not too bad, huh? Not too shabby, not too shabby. So you can't actually hear it right now, but you can hear it while the car is in motion and the vehicle is operational. But the chirping from the throw-out bearing or the throw-out release bearing usually happens right about now. A lot of users have reported it actually happening while the vehicle is cold. My vehicle is as cold as it can get. It's been sitting for the last 12 hours or so. All things considered, it's not currently chirping. Nonetheless, I do have the grease. We're gonna grease the bearing probably the next week or so, given that it's not currently doing it. I don't see the immediate need to grease the bearing. For those of you who don't know, grease your bearings before you lose them. You guys may recall that I mentioned getting a hardwired kit for my radar detector. My radar detector is actually in my house, but this is the hardwire kit, and we will be installing this in a video coming soon to you. So it'll kind of just clean up the wire mess here. And speaking of wire mess here, this in-dash music system, navigation system, entertainment system is absolutely horrendous. Now, I may be a little bit biased coming from my 2023 GMC Sierra Duramax, but really and truly, I mean, this is a 2017 device, and it has 1, 2, 3, 4 icons on it, 4 buttons, and then you got your 2 push knob buttons. And I mean, the system is slow, it's laggy. I think the only benefit that it has is to get rid of it. So we are going to be replacing it. There's a lot of different options for these Subaru WRXs. I do not care for this one bit. It needs to go. And you have Pandora, Starlink, which I can't even use because the previous owner had it hooked up to his account. And then you have AHA, which is like another version of Pandora. And I mean, the brightness on this thing is just, it's horrible. You can barely see the screen. And I'm saying that because the screen is actually turned all the way up as we live and breathe. So this needs to go. No other complaints on the interior. It's a nice place to be. I will be having to do tint in the very near future, and that's just due to the nature of being in Southern California, with the sun beating down on the dash 24/7. I mean, this is a 2017 and the dash isn't cracked, thank goodness, but it just kind of sucks to know that I touch the dash, my hand burns. And I would also like to have a cooler environment, or a relatively cooler environment, for my radar detector, given that I do drive the car quite spiritedly, and I would not want my radar detector to overheat, malfunction, and not work due to the sunbeams bearing down on it. Why don't we do a test drive so you guys can hear how this new exhaust sounds now that the car is a little bit warmed up. And by the way, guys, I did get my first parking ticket. I was street parked up there, and yeah, it came with a parking ticket when I walked out for work. Alrighty. And sometimes the chirping happens after I drive the car for a little bit. Obviously the car is not chirping at the moment, and I'm talking about the throw out bearing, or the throw out release bearing, but it is very annoying to listen to, and I'm sure it's not good for the car either, but I don't have any evidence to support it not being good. I just know that any irregular noise is not good for a vehicle, and that's after years of working on cars, taking cars apart, putting cars together, trucks, you name it. The only thing I really haven't touched is a boat, and I mean, I've touched a boat, you know what I mean? Like, I haven't touched a boat engine, and I haven't really touched a travel trailer, like one of those camper types. Funny story, I was actually fixing to buy a travel trailer before my truck got jacked, and yeah, now we're in a WRX. So yeah, I guess that's a funny story, depending on who you ask, and especially if you don't ask me. But yeah, you know, count your blessings. You're only here on earth for a little bit about time. And anyways, oh yeah, man, that exhaust just sounds killer, guys. It's good. It's some good stuff. Oh gosh, I don't know how fast we were going. I would imagine that we weren't going that fast. I'm sure we were going the speed limit, but the exhaust on this thing just sounds gnarly. It is a nameless exhaust. I bought it secondhand on Marketplace for about 150 bucks. So yeah, I really do enjoy it. Ah, crap, there's a cop coming. There's a cop that's not too far behind us, guys. You probably won't see him. I see him, but luckily he's not following us at the moment. Okay. Oh my gosh. Oh, yep, here he's coming our way. Okay, we might have to take it a little easy. Oh man, he's coming. Hold on. We're good to go. He did not follow us. Oh man, I never really thought I would be a fan of owning another four-banger, but this thing really just changes your perspective on cars. And yeah, it's rather quick. It's not the fastest car in the world, but oh, it's quick for what it is. Oh gosh. Oh man. Man, that new exhaust is just killer, guys. It's killer. Oh man, we'll wrap this thing up. And this just goes to show, you can buy the cheapest Subaru WRX in the country and still have a bucket of fun or a whole bunch of fun. This thing is just incredible. It only has 40,000 miles on it. I've of course put some miles on it since our last upload, but yeah, you could buy the cheapest version of whatever car you're looking at and come out on top and have a whole bunch of fun. Now, this does not come without its own problems, and you know, I guess that was the point of today's video. But what I will say is that for all of the problems that it does have, the car is in overall good mechanical condition, and those problems are easily solved. They're easily fixed. They're not going to break the bank. I mean, a wheel stud is like $100 to get a new one punched, or get the old one punched out and a new one pressed in. This is not a hard car to kind of get back to a usable state. I mean, I know that the paint is going to be a few $100, but that's not something that anybody wouldn't have to do anyways, especially when they're buying, you know, a 7-year-old, 8-year-old car that maybe is not in the best condition, but that does need a little bit of love. And for the other stuff, tires and brakes, those are things that you're gonna have to replace on any vehicle over time anyways. And it just so happens that this one is within its service interval, or whatever you want to call it. It's within its interval, and it's just time to replace those necessary wear items. For those of you who haven't seen any of my recent videos, I do invite you to check them out. Thank you for all of the support on the last video. We are closing in on 1,000 subscribers here soon, and I hope to get there before my birthday, which is September 15th. So yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. I hope you have a good day and or night, wherever you may find yourselves. And until then, I'm gonna be speeding. Oh man, guys, it's just too good. It's too good. I'm telling you, this is too good. And by the way, the next video, we're probably going to be installing the hardwire kit for the radar detector, and we're going to be greasing that throwout bearing. So that's what you have to look forward to. Oh man, I'll get some outside exhaust clips in the next video probably as well. I'll see you guys. Peace.